Hey, how's it going, everybody? Figured we'd just go over the 0.3 update for Wizardry remake / remaster here, or I guess 0.3.1. There's a minor hotfix for like some kind of a language issue or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, we've got some interesting stuff to check out here. So, starting right off the bat, one of the really nice changes for some people is going to be this save copy option. So, now, if you want to copy your game, I've already done this a couple times, you can do so. Which basically means if you have something terrible happen in the dungeon, you got to back up your save. So that's definitely a nice to have feature for people who, you know, don't really want to deal with some of the bullshittery that I guess can happen later on in the game. The other thing that's nice, kind of in regard to that, is like, I don't have anybody who needs healing right now, but this is called the Temple of Cant update. I used to call this the basically the temple if you can't afford any of the shit that's in here, because as your characters get higher level, it costs more money to resurrect them and all that kind of stuff. But one of the options that they've added is the ability for you to reduce the cost of resurrecting your characters in the temple. And also, I guess some enemies later on could do level drain, which basically just steals levels, I think, permanently. And this gives you an option to basically reverse that, which sounds pretty good to me, especially for people who, you know, don't want to have to do as much grinding. The other kind of nice to have things in the town here, at least, are in the inn here. So there's an option for party rest. I don't know exactly how this works, because normally when you rest, your characters age, I think by a week. And as they age, it sort of reduces their stat potential, or their likelihood of getting bonus stats when they level up, I think is kind of the gist of it. But if you want, you can just push that button and then everybody rests. So again, yeah, I don't know if that ages people or how that works exactly. But it's another option that you can turn off if you want to. If you want the more vanilla experience. And also, yeah, they have some presets here for kind of what they suggest, or the original PC, or, well, Apple version, or the classic console version, I think, is based on the NES, which is where I think, like, the music that you hear comes from, because the original game didn't have any music, as far as I know. The other thing that's nice to have here is if we go to the tavern, we can now recruit characters. Got a kind of a mix of different kind of people here. Some may be better than others. But should something happen in the dungeon and you know, one of your characters meets an untimely end and gets turned to dust on the resurrection attempts, and you don't want to fully save scum, then this could be a nice option for you to get another character going without having to spend a whole bunch of time grinding. So that's pretty good. The other thing that you can do, I think, here, is it here? Yeah, I think it's in the inn. Basically, before, if you want to do like basic character stuff like inventory management, you had to enter the dungeon, but now you can do that outside of it. And I think that's it for everything that's in the town here. So if you enter the maze, we can check out a couple of the changes here. There have been some, I think, some minor visual updates kind of outside in this kind of stuff. Like, I'm not sure if this skeleton man up here was... not sure if these guys were here. And I think there used to be... Yeah, there's... That guy's still there with the axe in his ass. I don't know if we go here, we can just do one of those to get a little bit of a better view of things here. And then let's pop in here, see if we can get into a fight. No. Some of these doors have fixed encounters. Here we go, this will work. Alright, so I haven't identified these guys. This was, yeah, or I guess maybe I have. In the previous update, they added like a bestiary and stuff. But anyway, one thing that they've changed for the combat, aside from this arena, actually, that's kind of the most noticeable thing. Yeah, this looks a lot nicer now, for sure. Although I will say, it doesn't look anything like what I would expect based on the architecture and kind of where we are in the dungeon. This looks like the title screen of Baldur's Gate 3 a little bit. But I think, hopefully this is a sign that maybe there'll be different arenas as we get to different floors of the dungeon, and this is just like the first of a few. And that hopefully the dungeon kind of architecture and environment will look different as you go deeper. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't played any of the other levels just because I kind of want to experience the game when it's done for myself. But anyway, so one of the other big changes that they did here, which is again optional, if you go to the old school options, we can go to action redirection. And basically what this does is if we were to, for example, if we attack with Jex here, this group, and then we attack with Vonnie, we don't get to choose which one of these guys we attack. It's just, they figure it out by themselves. And if Jex kills this guy, but Vonnie was also targeting this guy, then her action would essentially be wasted. With action retargeting turned on, it allows her to kind of just pick a different guy to hit, which is, more in line with what people, I think, expect with modern RPG mechanics. And the other thing is that it also helps with spell casting. So normally, if we were to cast like a little fire, and then he like attacked that same guy, he would still cast the spell even though this guy's dead, and it would just be a wasted spell charge, which is kind of bad because we don't really have, very many spell charges in this game. So you definitely don't want to waste them. And so with action retargeting on, he could instead attack this guy, or if all these guys are dead, he just won't cast anything. And he'll save that spell charge, where normally he would, he's going to burn that charge no matter what. So, that's a really nice change, I think, for some people. Go ahead and see about taking these guys out real quick. I think maybe, I don't know, if these spell effects have been updated or not. Not sure. But actually, one thing. Actually, yeah, I think. No, I think we did use all of our charges in there in that fight, just because of order of events. But one thing is, I think there's a note about all of the textures maybe in now, and animations and stuff for monsters, or like I think a few were missing when the game released, maybe in the lower levels of the dungeon. Also, I don't know, these might be different, this curvature here. But anyway, yeah, so that's good. There's actually another thing here. So yeah, there's a couple, I think these might be new options. So bad stuff on party wipe. Basically, if you wipe in the maze, you have an opportunity to like go in with different characters to recover the bodies and the gear and stuff. But if you have bad stuff on party wipe on, which is like the vanilla game, sometimes people get eaten, apparently, or things get lost. So this is a way to, make that not happen at your option. Anyway, to kind of reduce the grindiness if bad things happen. And then again, surprise round casting is kind of a similar thing. This may have already been in, but basically makes it so you can't get ambushed by enemies and then, blasted to death with no counterplay, essentially. And then also, this one may also be new. I'm not sure, maybe this may have also been in the last update, but basically changes the mechanics of running away, where like normally I think you get like one chance to run, and then that eats the turns for everybody. Whereas if you turn this on, other people can at least get a chance to maybe do something. So, just kind of quality of life stuff to make the game a little easier for people who don't want to spend a bunch of time grinding, basically, and risk death. It definitely changes the overall tone of the game, but I think they're good options for people who just want to be able to play a dungeon crawler, and kind of get some of the wizardry flavor. without necessarily being beholden to the fairly high difficulty curve, at least as I understand it. I haven't played through the original Wizardry. I've played a little bit of the DOS version, but yeah, I hear bad things can happen in the lower levels of the dungeon. But anyway, that's pretty much it, I think, for this update. Just figured I'd go over this real quick for y'all, so people who are interested in the game, who are following it, but maybe haven't bought it yet, can get an idea what's going on here. But yeah, that'll do it for me for now. I guess we'll see what happens maybe in a couple months with future updates. But until then, this is what I got for you, so I'll see you later.